Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another exclusive interview with the Marvel Hasbro team. We have Dwight, Ryan, and Dan with us. How are you guys doing today?
Perfect.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
Deadpan.
I want to say, first off, I really enjoyed the last live stream. I just want to thank you again for the opportunity of reviewing that first appearance Spider-Man. That was freaking awesome. Really happy with that figure. Really appreciate you guys doing that along with Boog and everything. I think the YouTubers reviewing these things is dope as hell. I wanted to first ask you guys about the 3 Spider-Men coming out in 2023. And I wanted to know, will these figures be released in a wave along with comic figures like we saw with the last No Way Home wave? And can we expect No Way Home villains in this wave as well?
So you'll just have to stay tuned. That's what we're just giving to you little bits at a time. So the 3 Spider-Men will be coming out in 2023, and how, when, it's all still TBD. You know, we're big fans of that movie. There's a lot happened in that movie, a lot of characters, and you know, we're constantly working to find places in the line to address those want lists. So that's all we can say for now.
Okay, cool. So Doc Ock, Green Goblin, confirmed, or no, none of that's confirmed. Damn it. Jeez. Okay. Moving on then. When Hasbro releases figures with the same wave title, maybe like No Way Home, like if you already have a No Way Home wave and you will possibly release another No Way Home wave. You didn't get into specifics about that, but let's say you do, let's pretend. Does that wave get its own assortment number? Does it get a new unique assortment number? And does the NPD account for that when tracking sales?
So generally, our Legends 6-inch waves are unique assortment numbers. Not always. For instance, last year we had 2 Disney Plus waves. First was the live action stuff, right? So that was the Sam Wilson Captain America with the wings. And then the second wave was the Watcher, and most of those characters were What If. That was one example where it was a 2-wave assortment. But every other wave has a separate assortment number, and those are tracked individually by NPD and broken out. So for anyone wondering how that kind of works, if you wanted to, you could go into a Legends figure right here. I've got Ultron, and you look in the upper right hand corner, there's a 5-digit. The first one on the left is the figure specific number, and then the one on the right that is followed by ASST is the assortment number. So for those of you who want to know how that works, just look at your packages and you see both the solid number and the assortment number. For items that are not in a wave, a deluxe MODOK by himself, there's just going to be 1 item number. So very exciting stuff. I know you guys want to hear more about it. Tune into a live stream or whatever, and we'll go deeper on it.
All right, cool. I just wanted to get some more information on that, like when talking about action figures being sold, or which action figures are being sold the most out there, so that people get an accurate idea of what's going on as far as figure sales and everything. And then speaking of figure sales, I know you guys can't talk about it. Here we go. But Hasbro's increasing their prices. And you guys, Dwight's design, Ryan, Dan, you guys are marketing, so I don't expect you guys to be responsible or to have a lot of information to share on that. So it's not necessarily a question, but more of a statement that I fear, just by reading my comments, that you guys could potentially push customers away as prices increase. Some companies haven't increased prices so much. Others have as well. I know McDonald's has, because I got a McDouble the other day and that thing was $3.29. I know you sold out of your Spider-Man figures on Hasbro Pulse. So right now, I guess it's not really a concern because people are buying them. But it's just one thing that I see a lot of feedback from viewers, from your consumers. And if there is somebody from Hasbro that could talk to me about this kind of stuff, I ask if you could please lend them my way, and hopefully I can get an interview with that person. But as for now, I understand you guys can't really get into that conversation. So I just had to put it out there. because a lot of my viewers have brought the attention to me, and I'm not doing my job if I don't bring it to you. Okay, so had to mention that. But as we move forward in the conversation, because again, that really wasn't a question, how can customers trust the product without seeing it first? You recently changed the packaging and it's totally covered. That's going to affect mint on card collectors. For me, that's not really a concern. But where my and I understand that paint defects and things like that, that's a matter of percentages, right? Like that one I can ask you guys. That's a matter of percentages. Like whether if you have paint defects at 5%, whether the box is closed or not, that's still going to be at 5%, right? That percentage is not going to change. I'm not concerned about that side of it. I'm concerned about figure swaps because that has already been a big issue. People swapping figures. There's an old Mordo in the new Mordo box at my local Target in Ceremony sitting on the shelf right now. So have you guys coordinated with Target and Walmart to ensure that we are going to buy the product that we're intending to buy when we go to big box stores?
So I guess figure swaps is a reality, and it's an unfortunate thing. I think a lot of us accept it, and but I mean, if you kind of boil it down to it, it's not right, and it shouldn't happen. Like we shouldn't normalize this type of behavior. But that being said, if it does happen, it kind of happens. I think we're going to continue to monitor the situation closely. There have been some items that have been closed box over the years, right? Certain deluxe figures, some other brands have been out there for various other expressions. But, as a company, we are moving towards a plastic-free packaging landscape by 2023. So this is starting to roll out now in 2022. Most, all of the Spider-Man items revealed last week are in that new structure. You'll begin to see that on a more frequent basis. And I guess we'll have to wait and see. We are aware that is a real world problem, and the teams are working with the retailers. We've had to work closely with our retailer partners and explain to them the benefits of going to plastic free. And I think Hasbro is on the forefront of that. And there are trade-offs for the consumer, but it is ultimately, I think, the right thing to do in terms of a more sustainable world for everyone, and continuing to provide these types of fan favorite characters for future generations.
All for the whole eco-friendly thing. Is it for the eco? Do you guys also saved on cost for doing it? Some people are saying that there's like a financial benefit. There's the financial reason. I tend to think it's both because I've already seen you guys do it, removing twisty ties, using those cardboard twisty things, and trying to reduce the little pieces of plastic here and there that just get thrown in the trash. So, but asking you guys, I mean, it's just my assumption.
So the PR approvable answer, I would say, is the change to plastic-free packaging was not done for costing, right?
Got it.
And then a follow-up point is I would ask all these people who are somehow manufacturing experts and assume they know what everything costs. So don't make assumptions because a lot of factors go into it, and it is not just a piece of paper versus a piece of plastic, right? So kind of read into that what you will, but if anyone works in the manufacturing sector and maybe has a more educated opinion, yeah, feel free to jump in, but you guys, don't really know. I'll leave it at that.
Right. Hasbro's been doing this for quite a bit of time, even before this. Like it's been on Hasbro's radar to reduce the amount of plastic being used in their packaging. So I appreciate that. However, I will say that I think this is a little bit of a cooler idea, like having the window open, like just for the face, you know what I mean? So I kind of maybe consider this option right here. Just
I would counter with that, and I've thought about that, Russ, is Transformers, their heads are not designed to come off. They don't easily come off. For us, we've got alternate heads all the time. So if you were to have just an open window, that's kind of inviting a little bit more potential problems. Transformers have fewer interchangeable pieces. They might have one blaster that's pretty big, right? That can get like tied around, and then it's the figure and nothing comes off or should come off of the figure. Whereas Legends, you've got heads, hands, lots of little tiny pieces that it's like, how would you tie them down? You can't tape them down or anything, and there's no more blister. So not every solution works for every brand, but yeah, I agree that Transformer package looks great.
But no, that's a really good counterpoint. I did not think about people just digging in there and popping the head off and replacing it with an old Pizza Spidey head or something. Yeah, that people will do if they're going to figure swap. There's nothing going to stop them from doing that either. So yeah, good thinking. Good thinking. All right, all right, all right. Touche, touche, Ryan. Touche. I wanted to also ask, do movie figures sell a little better than comic figures? And if so, is that the reason why we see more movie figures with unique sculpts and unique detailing on them? However, I am aware that the Shocker figure and the Spider Armor Mark One were 100% unique for those characters and can't really be reused. So, second part of my question is that can we expect more of that moving forward? So
I can jump in on the second part of that question.
Cool, right on.
It's like at the reason why you see so much new in the MCU is they're character specific, they're costume specific, they're movie specific or show specific. So it requires us more often than not to create a figure from scratch to as accurately as possible represent what you see on the big screen or on your television for Disney Plus. That being said, we always have a bucket of money at the beginning of the year, and we try to figure out what each wave is going to cost. How much do we need for this wave, how much do we need for that wave? And when we're doing that, we always set aside an amount that we want to use for all new classic things, because we know that they're important. While we can get away with using a lot of base bodies for a ton of figures, there are some figures like Iron Men or Thor's or more unique things or Shocker, a great example, like you just said, that just require new. And we do always try to set aside a percentage of our funds for the year to make sure that we're able to not just deliver awesome MCU and Disney Plus product, but also to have some fresh, all new things for the classic consumer, depending on which side that you love.
Okay.
Yeah, and to answer your first part, Russ, and you're not a rookie to this either, but yeah, we don't normally disclose what sells the most or anything like that in these type of interviews at all, right? So we're not going to disclose that here. However, I just think it is important for us to tell all the fans that we are aware that there are some people who prefer MCU figures versus classic figures or all figures, you know what I mean? And we try to touch base and balance out what is appropriate for all of our consumers and fans, whether it be classic fans or MCU fans or both. And we try to do the best as possible to make everyone happy, but we know that's like not possible, right? You can't make everybody happy. So but yeah, our team tries to strategize ways to make sure that we can try to appease to the biggest fan bases as much as possible. But we appreciate everyone's support to our line. That's why we've been able to be in this business for at least 20 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it's that constant, it's like a triangle, right? It's Hasbro, it's Disney, Marvel, and then it's fans, and it's everyone kind of sometimes wants the same things and sometimes not, but we just have to try to balance everything out. There's so much new Marvel entertainment these days, from Disney Plus to movies, right? So there are, I think if you take a longer term view going back, since 2014, which was the first time we did movie, like specific Legends waves for Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yes, we do more movie figures now, but that's because there's a lot more movie content. I think year over year, if you just look at previous year, if you were to count up all the figures in the line, bucket them, comic or movie, we try to stay relatively consistent, not exactly flat, but it's that balance and continuing to offer, comic fans for those comic collectors and movie fans or movie figures for those movie collectors.
I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. I want you to keep on going. Me, myself, look, I'm buying less hot toys to be able to afford price increases on other stuff that's more important to me. People are going to have to do what they're going to have to do. Kind of curious to see if we'll get like maybe a Mandarin or an Avalanche or a Doc Samson or an Agni or a Riot or a Cardiac or a Chamber or an Exodus or a Scar or a Banshee with an open mouth or a 70s Iron Fist and Luke Cage, or Dark Ms. Marvel, or a Wolfsbane Pharaoh, Monet, Destiny, Armor, Whiplash, Molten Man, The Spot, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, A-Bomb, Elixir, Cartoon, Morph, Classic Angel, Random Forearm, the Grizzly Head sculpt for that Ursa Major. Are we going to get any of those, Dwight?
No, yes, possibly, maybe, definitely not, absolutely, already done, never, absolutely not, quite possibly, maybe someday, but I wouldn't count on it anytime too soon. Yeah, you'll see something in your inbox next week. No way, possibly. We're not allowed to do that one. We thought about that, but we decided not to. Yep.
Someone's gonna go through my list and go through your
shoot. You know what? I missed what you said there. So my responses are probably 1 or 2 off.
Oh.
I was gonna disclaimer
that's
that
on me.
right
I'm
there.
sorry about that, buddy. That's my fault.
Why don't we throw him a bone and say yes, one of those figures on that list will win.
Oh, yes.
Okay? Go speculate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but thanks for your support, and all the fans. Like, I think at the end of the day, right, everyone, go collect what you love, what makes you happy. We are fans ourselves, and we try our best to make as many of the Marvel Legends fans happy over the years, and we're just thankful for everyone's continued support 20 plus years. We don't have any plans of slowing down, hopefully not. So yeah, you'll continue to see more from us.
All right, sounds good. Really appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I'm happy to talk to you guys. It's always enlightening, and really appreciate it. So
Thank you for letting us know what the fans are thinking. Appreciate it,
yeah,
buddy.
for sure. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.
Peace.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.